Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel of Python Programming for Beginners Part 6. In our last part, we have covered loops of Python. In this part, we are going to cover functions in Python. So let us continue with that. So first we will understand what are function. The function are reusable block of code that perform a specific task. A function is and it instead of written the same code multiple time, you can write it once instead inside a function and call it whenever you need it. Function helps make program organized, usable, and easier to maintain. So function is basically a block of code um, uh, to perform for a specific task, and you can call it multiple time, so you don't need to write the same code multiple time. In real life example, think of a coffee machine. If you press the coffee button, if make it makes the coffee, and if you press the tea button, it makes the tea. And if you press the hot water button, then it dispenses hot water. Each button perform a specific task just like function, and it can be used multiple time. So that's how the function actually work. So let us understand a syntax of a function. We can create function uh, this. First, we are going to write the def. After that, we are going to write the function name. Right. After bracket or semicolon, and after that we can write whatever function in it, whatever the function it is going to be in it. Mm. We are going to, so that's how we are going to create a function. Since as you can see, this function is like this. uh, as you can see, this function this work, but it is not going to give any output because we did not call the function. If we are going to call it like create and run this code, then as you can see, it is going to print whatever the inside is going to be. And we can also print it multiple times, such as I want to print it 4 times, 5 times. So I am going to call the function, so it is going to print 5 times. So instead of writing the code whatever inside it 5 times, this is function is going to create function is going to do that, so that it will be easy for us to not to write multiple time. And as you can see, here is the second example, such as show message. If we are going to call the function, as you can see, whatever inside the code is, it is going to run. So that's how the function works. I hope you understand. So let us go with our next is, why do we need function? A function. programs become larger when the same code repeatedly make the difficult to read. Uh, Basically, if we need to write the program multiple times, such as in a program like print hello world is actually a very small program. Uh, so here it not might be a problem such as writing multiple time, but if the code is going to be lengthy, then if we need to add a using function so that it becomes shorter and we can use it multiple time, and it is easy to maintain, since we only need to make changes here one time, so we can easily maintain. Such as you can see, this is the function without this is a code without function. As you can see, if I need to make changes in one, I need to make changes in all, since for output. But here, as you can see, if I make changes in even one portion, as you can see, it is going to be done in all of the. So that's how the function works. Mm, with to help us organize. So our next is why use function to reduce, as you have already explained this, to reduce code duplication, reuse code whenever needed, and make program easier to read, improve code or organization, and simplify debugging and maintenance, breaking larger program into smaller and manageable part. Uh, for our real life example, imagine writing a number of hundred, on your writing your name 100 times on paper instead of writing it manually each time. You could use as a stamp. A function work like a stamp. You created it once and use it whenever create it and use it whenever you need it. So that's how the function work. So advantage of function I have already told you. The code reusability, reduce code duplication, improve readability, easy to maintain, simplifies debugging, makes program modular, and save time. So let us understand the types of function. There are usually two types of function in Python. First is built-in function and second is user-defined function. So first, let us continue with a built-in function. So a built-in function is a predefined function provided by Python. You can use them directly without creating them. So built-in function is basically a function which is already created in Python, such as print, input. I have already tell you what the print is. Whatever it is going to be, it is going to print on display or terminal. Or input function take input from user. Len function returns the length of object. such as length of a series, to be exact. It is going to give, and type function return the data types of any variable and max function return the largest value, and mean function returns the smallest value, and sum function return the sum of value. We are going to see what this built-in function are. Let us create built built-in dot py. Here, as you can see, we have taken a number, taken a list. Here we have taken the list. If we need to find the length of the list, we can print it using print for built-in function, and length built-in function length is going to print the length of this. As you can see, here its length is 4, so it is going to print 4. And max function gives the maximum value which is present in it. As you can see here, the maximum value is 40, so it is going to give the value 40. And just like max, mean function uh, gives the value of minimum which is present in it, such as here minimum is 10, so it is going to be 10. And sum function, it is going to give the sum of all the numbers, so it is going to be 100. As you can see, 10 plus 20 30, and 30 plus 30 60 plus 40 100. So that was the built-in function. So that's how it is. Second is user defined. So user defined function is a function created by programmer to perform a specific task. They are created using def function. So user defined function is basically a function which we can create, such as here using def. Here, just like here, we have created a function named greet, which actually going to, if we run this function, it is going to print welcome to Python. So that was the user defined function. And difference between user defined and built-in function is built-in function already provided by Python, and user defined function is created by programmer. And built-in function, no need to define them. And you, for defined function, you must be defined before using it. As for the examples, for built-in function, it is going to be print, length, types. And for user-defined function, it is going to be greet, add, such as we can create a function name add, which is going to be a sum of two number, or display, which is going to print anything. So we can create a function just like this. So that was the function. Let us go with defining function. Function is a function is defined using a def keyword followed by function name and parenthesis, such as close smaller bracket, and code inside the function is called function body and must be properly indented, such as you need to make sure it has correct indentation. If the indentation is not going to be correct, it is going to be outside the function. So you need to look into it. For syntax explanation, def keyword uses the function defined as function. Def is a built-in keyword, and function name, the name of the function you are going to provide, and parentheses that could contain parameters. So this is used for containing parameters, but it is fine if you don't, if you are not going to give any thing. So, and a semicolon marks the beginning of function. After semicolon the function begins. An indentation block settlement that belongs to function. Example, as you can see here is the example. It is not going to give any output since we didn't call the function. So for before calling the function, you need to be first you need to define it first. After that you can call it. For correct sentence, first you need to define. After that you can call it. As you can see, define another function. The function show messages directly defined successfully. It will execute only when it is called. Third, as you can see, this is third example. So third is calling of function. We can create function dot py. We can create functions such as if we are going to create a function named def, uh, let us create a function def greet, no greet no, let us go with just greet, greet print welcome to Python, and print print good morning. Let us go with goodbye, good morning, or good after, good afternoon, or anything. After that, we can. So that's how you need to remember for indentation. Such as if you are not going to be a proper indentation, as you can see, after that you can call it. So if we are going to run this, as you can see, it is going to print both of them, and we can actually call this multiple time. So Here you can see it is going to print multiple times, and you need to remember the indentation. If you are not going to write the indentation correct, as you can see, it is going to give either the error, and if even if it is not going to give the error, as you can see, first since this both doesn't correctly have indentation, so they can not be going to be used as function. They are going to be a normal code, so you need to be and be very you need to be careful about indentation. So that's how you can call any function, such as you need to write its function name and bracket. And if they have parameters, then you need to write in it. I'm going to explain what is parameters are. So let us continue with that. So that's how we can actually call this function. Uh, so that is how we can actually call this function. As you can see here, it is greet and goodbye. We have created a function named greet, so it is going to greet. Third, after that, there's going to be function argument. Let us first understand what the argument is. Argument is a value that is passed to the function when it is called. So arguments provide data to the function so that it could perform a specific task. The value passes as argument are received by function through parameter. So arguments are values that is actually passed to the function, such as here you can see the argument name. In greet there is argument name. So whenever we are going to write whenever we are going while calling, whenever we are going to write here any name while calling greet, so it is going to be used as value, and it is going to be print hello name. As you can see here, it is going to be print here like this. So let us understand. Here it is, we can also take multiple argument, such as here we are going to create a file name arguments.py. So what the argument is going to, first we are going to create a function name, such as function name uh, such a, let us create add d divide, function name divide. If here let us just continue with that. Function name multiply a comma b it is going to print a into b, and as you can see, if we are going to call this function as 5 and 3, it is going to print the multiplication of two number. Here we can give argument, like argument is basically a value which is given to the which is given value of a function such as name. So that is actually argument, and argument is a value which is given such as Alice is going to be an argument, and for name which is actually defined in function such as here name, it is going to be parameter. So you need to remember that what is parameter and what is argument. So a parameter is basically a name which is actually defined in while creating the function, and argument is given the input while calling it, such as Alice or any other name you can call it. Whenever you are going to call it, it is going to be used in it. So here, just like that. So here is the parameter and argument. Parameter variable defined in function definition, and argument values passes when calling the function. Parameter is basically a variable which is actually defined in the while creating the function, and argument is a value which is passed which is passed while calling the function, and parameter receive the data from caller, and argument is provide data to the function. Examples such as name, or in last as you have seen name and Alice. So here is the example of it, such as here name is going to be parameter and Alex is going to be argument. So that's how it is. You can positional third is positional argument. Let me create positional arguments. Positional arguments. So let us arguments.py. So positional arguments are the here we can positional arguments are arguments that are passes to the function in the same order as the parameter are defined. Python matches each argument to its corresponding parameter based on its position. Note, positional argument are the argument that are passed to the function in same order. You need to, for the positional argument, you need to remember the order. You can call it Python matches each argument to its corresponding parameter based on its position. The order of the position argument is important. Here, let us understand with an example. Here, as you can see, we have created a parameter. Here we have created a argue. Here we have created a parameter name and age, as we have taken two parameters, and while taking two param we have created a function taking the two parameter, and here is the code, function code. So while calling the function, you need to remember where to write the arguments, such as you need to write the arguments in same places. As you can see, for name you need to, if the name is at first and second is age, so for a parameter you need to for argument you need to write here for values, such as the first one is always going to be name and second one is going to be age. You cannot exchange those or jumble here, such as first we are going to write 20, and here let us, as you can see here, it is working. But if we are going to write 20, such as like this, comma here, then it is not going to give an error. As you can see, here the meaning is actually changed. Since this was simple code, so it did not give error, but here in the mostly cases it is going to give error, since after that, if the data types is not match, then it is going to give problem. So you need to understand, remember that here. So that was how the positional arguments are. Positional argument is basically, what you need to remember. You need to remember where to give the position while giving the input. If the order is incorrect, it is going to give the output a incorrect output. So the argument are matched by position, not by meaning, such that the order is correct, incorrect. The value are assigned to the wrong parameters. So keyword argument. So third one is going to be keyword argument. So let me create keyword argument dot py as you so let us understand what is keyword arguments are. Keyword argument Keyword arguments are argument passes to function by specifically that specifying the parameter name followed by value. So keyword arguments are the argument which is actually predefined, such as here you can see function such as dep function name. Here in simple we have written the parameter 1 and parameter 2. So while calling the function, you can also write it parameter 1 equals to, or give any value of it, and for second you can write parameter 2 equals to value, such as here like this. You can give here such as for here we can call it using a name function. As you can see, we can also call it like this. Since in both since we have already defined the parameter uh, parameter name, if we are going to call the parameter name and we are going to give the value, so we don't need to be write it in order. We can also change the order in it, but you need to remember while changing the order, you need to define for every parameter, for define the define here every parameter. So here the argument passes using the parameter name. So Python assign the value correctly. So it is not going to make any error even if we change the change its position. Changing the order is we can change even though the order is changed, the output remain the same because the arguments are matched by their parameter name. They are not going to be matched by positioning. If we are going to write parameter name here, mixing positional and keyword, here you need to, we can actually write it, also write that while one it is going to be positional and second one is going to be, and parameter here like this. The first one is going to be ordered, while the second one is going to be parameter. We, you need to remember with a problem like this. Here, if you change the order, since uh, here, as you see, this syntax, it is going to give the syntax error since you have changed the order here. So it is going to give an error. So you need to remember the, if you are going to give, you need to give the name of while changing the change in mix position and keyword. If you are going to mix position and keyword argument, you need to remember it is need to be in order, which you are which you are not writing in parameters, such as we are not writing alex in parameter. We are not writing alex parameter name, so you need to write this in order. So if you are going to change here the order like this, positional argument must always come before the keyword argument. You need to remember, first you need to write the positional argument. After that you can write the keyword argument. Well, so like that, if we are going to write it like this, such as for name Alice, and we can write 20 comma. As you can see, it is going to give the error, although you need to write here in order. It doesn't matter how it is. Here you need to write it in order. This will raise the syntax error because the positional argument cannot follow the keyword argument. So first one is while writing this, you need to remember the order of it. So last is default argument. Next one is default argument. Default arguments dot keyword. So let us understand what the default arguments are. Default argument are parameter that is default that has a default value assigned to it. It if no argument is passes for the parameter when the function is called, parameter automatically uses the default value. Default argument makes some function arguments optional, such as if default value parameters are the the default arguments are the arguments, such as you can actually give here the value of any parameter. You can actually give a value of any parameter while defining the function. If you give here the value, so you do not need to give value to it, such as like this. You do not need to even if you are not going to give any value, it is still going to if you are not going to give any value, it is going to take a default value from parameters. And if you are going to give value here, such as alex, it is going to give use that argument instead of default value. So default argument is basically like that. If you can, if you you need, if you want to give value here, it is going to take your value, and if not, it is going to take the default value. So that was it. So next is here, as you can see here in Next example, we have given here a value and it is going to print. Here, as you can see, here we have already given the default value of 18. Since we did not give any default value, any argument here, so it is not going to take any. It is going to take a default value and give the output. Um and if you are going to give here values, then it is going to use that value. So that's how the in first function call, once the name argument is provided, so the age uses it- its default value of 18. In second argument, uh, in second function call, the both the argument provided, so the default value is replaced. The rule for the default value parameter will with the default value should be placed after parameter without default value. Hmm. So you need to while creating function, you need to remember you parameter with the default value should be written after the parameter without default value, such as here the name is a parameter which does not have default value, so we need to write here first and here first, so it is going to be correct. If we changes, then it is going to give the error, syntax error like this. Since the parameter without the default follows the parameter within the it is, as you can see, it is going to give the syntax error. If you need to write it. So as you can see, it is going to give syntax error, and here it is going to parameter without default value you need to write first. After that you can write parameter with default value. So arbitrary argument. So third is arbitrary argument. So let us continue with that. Arbitrary argue arguments dot py. So let us understand what the arbitrary arguments is. Let me clear it first. So arbitrary arguments is sometime you may not know how many arguments with the will be placed to the function. In each case, the Python follows. In that case, the Python follows arbitrary argument using args, asterisk, args, and the asterisk args parameter allow a function to accept any number of positional argument. All the arguments are stored in as a tuple. The name arg is conversion. You can use any name, but the star star is required. So arbitrary argument is basically an argument while defining the function. If we let us understand such as example like this, if we define a function as add and we did not know how many values we need to add, so in that case we are going to take the variable name as arbitrary argument such as star args, uh, star r. So if we take the value, we can take how many value we can take how much value we want. So uh, such as like this, if we create a function named def add star r r and uh, star r, then sum equal 0 for we will take for number in r, for sum equal number, and then print the sum is b here. So if we will take the value as add, as you can see here, we did not know how many variable parameters we are going to take, such as we have taken here 3 parameters, but we did not know how much it is going to be. So uh, we can also print it. uh, So we did not know how much argument is we are going to use. So we can use the parameter as arbitrary arguments. Arbitrary arguments is using like this. So we can take how many parameters we want. Such as like this, we have taken 3 parameters, so as you can see, it is going to print here, and you need to remember while taking these parameter are going to be in series. So name of the series, it is going to be in tuple always. It is not going to be list or set or any types of series. It is always going to be a tuple. As you can see, we have printed here. We can also check it like this here. If we write type, if we use the build type function, as you can see, it is going to be tuple. We can also take how many values we want, such as if we want 20, 67 or 46, 46, 45 or 6. How many value we can take? It is going to be always a tuple, and we can take how many value we want. So we do not need to define here how much, but you need to understand all of this are going to be in same way, same data type. All the way parameter are going to be in same data type, since it need to be So all the arguments is going to be in same data type. The args is conversion. It can be use any names, but it is. And you also need to remember the r such as asterisk. Args is not important. You can also write any number such as here we have taken asterisk name, so such a asterisk instead of name we will take number. So here we can take here number parameter, and here also number. Here we will also take number. So as you can see, it is also going to be correct, since we can take any number, any name as parameter. But you need to remember, first you need to add asterisk. After that, while continuing, you need to add name. You cannot give any space here like this. If you are going to give space, it is going to give although you cannot take any space. Although you can take any spaces, but it is given not to, since it make easy to read the code. So here is an example. We have taken created a function of name fruit, and we have taken the argument, and we can print. So here all of this are going to be in argument, and it is going to be, after here it is going to be converted into tuple. As you can see, it is going to print in tuple. So you can also print it like first one, it is going to be, if you need to print first one uh, access individually such as 0 1, we will understand indexing in next parts. So here first you need to remember, for now, just remember, while if you need to print one by one, you can print it like this, such as 0 1. We will understand how the indexing is done in next parts. For now, just remember the indexing. In Python, indexing started from 0 to n number, and for reverse, such as the first one, it is going to be 0, and for second one it is going to be 1. So if you need to print only first one, then here you can add semicolon and square bracket 0. So it is going to print the first one, and for second one, it is second value, it is you need to print second value of series, you need to print, then it is you need to write the first. You can also the indexing also written in reverse, such as if you write the indexing in reverse, then this one is going to be -1, this one is going to be in -2, and this one is going to be in -3. So for now, just remember this. We are going to understand in next lecture what how the indexing is done here. Indexings are so you don't need to actually think about it for now. Just remember it as a basic so that you can understand it. So third example is using loops. As you can see here, you can use the loops here for I have already explained how to use loops in series. So you can use here like this. You can so the fourth is fixed parameter with argument such as example. Fourth is fixed parameter with argument. As you can see here, you can take in the parameter name, and second one is going to be marks. You do not know how many marks is going to be, so you can but you know the name is going to be one, so you have taken here argument, arbitrary arguments. Uh, so here it is going to be like the rule of the asterisk r accept any number of positional argument. You need to it is you need to be write it as position. Arguments stores argument are stored as tuple. It is not going to be in list or any other type. You can irritate over argument using loops. And if a function has normal parameter and argument, the normal parameter comes first, then you need to write the arguments, and such as here like this. uh, for our next one is going to be arbitrary keyword argument. So let us understand what is arbitrary keyword arguments are. We will write arbitrary arbitrary keyword arguments dot py. So let us understand what is arbitrary keyword arguments. Arbitrary keyword arguments. Sometimes you may not know how many keywords arguments will be passed to the function. In case in such case, Python provide arbitrary keywords argument using double star keyword arguments, and the keyword double star keyword argument parameter allow a function to accept any number of keyword arguments. All the keyword arguments are stored as dictionary, such as you do not in such as there some function which you do not know how many key arguments are how many arguments are going to be uh, how many parameters are going to be, such as here like this. As you can see, we uh, we have taken the value as student and number equal name equals to Alice and age equals to 20 and city equals to Delhi. We did for if we need, we have here we have created a function named student and we such a student detail, but we do not know how many details are going to be. So we can actually write it here argument double asterisk k k KWARs and print it like this. So you can take any number of value you want, such as, and this number of value is going to be in pay going to be here stored here as pair in dictionary, here in dictionary, such as if you are going to print, as you can see, if you are going to print this, run this code, it is going to be always in dictionary. If we take the value here, such as here like this, then it is print. After that, if I need to write print QIP type KWARs, then it is going to print the type of it is such as dictionary. This type is going to be here. I will write it. Type is going to be dictionary, and it is going to be stored here in in pair, such as a pair like this name, and here you can add any n number of arguments, any n number of arguments you want, such as here I can also add a gender is male or grade equal, I will write grade equal B, or marks equal anything like out of 100, we can write as 78 or anything. It is going to be stored here as key value, and if you print it like here, you are going to print name as you can see it is not defined. I will explain it after in dictionary. So you can take how many value are you can take how many pairs you want, arbitrary you want, using double asterisk. So just like in arbitrary argument, in arbitrary key argument, You do not need to the name of KWRs is not compulsory, but you can write any name, but you need to remember it uses the valid name, but double asterisk is required. So you need to remember adding the double asterisk. Access, you can access any individual. You can also access any individual such as like this. Here I am going to access individual name. If I am going to write it here, then it is going to be print here individually, such as you can see, it is going to print name of this one, uh, such as here I have written name. Name is going to be Alice. It is going to print. You can print it like this. Since here it is, you need to remember here it will take this one is automatically a string. So you need to remember while calling it, you need to remember here to call it as a string. Also, you can call anyone such as here like this. After how to call any other, I will explain it in dictionary part. So for now, you understand this. You can also write here a key value. You can also, if I am going to remove this, you can also write it here like this. Such as first I'm going to have print here so that we will understand when the code is actually starting. As you can see here, it was the argument which was taken. The name, if we for individual, we can actually write it using here like this. And if we need to print all of the pair, we can actually use this for key and value. If we need to print every pair of dictionary, you can print it like this using for key value pair. So it is going to be print in pair. So whenever you are going to call it, it is going to print. So the item method enter and returns both the key value from dictionary, allowing you to iterate through all keyword argument. So I will explain. So for now, remember this only. I will explain items and dictionary in details in upcoming lecture. So parameter with the fixed parameter with this. So for you need to remember just like arbitrary argument, the arbitrary keyword argument in arbitrary keyword argument is also like you need to remember, also you need to write it like also like this. So for difference between arbitrary arguments and arbitrary keyword arguments are arbitrary arguments arbitrary argument accept any number of positional argument, while arbitrary keyword arguments accept any number of keyword arguments. It is stored in tuple and it stores value in dictionary. Access value uses indexing. Access value in keyword argument. Access value uses keyword. So here are some rules of keyword arguments. So keyword arguments accept any number of keyword arguments. The argument are stored as dictionary and keyword must be you need to remember the key must be unique. It cannot be same, and if the function has normal parameter and keyword argument, then the normal parameter comes first. Then let us understand return statement. So let us create return return.py. So return is actually a very important topic. Return is actually a very important topic. So return statement is used to stand value back to function to place where the function is called. So return statement is basically a statement which it is going to return the value wherever the function is called. So unlike the print, unlike print, the return value actually cannot print it in display. Display it is going to give the value in any other parameters, such as here we have defined here name add, and if wherever we are going to add here, if this one is going to be called, it is going to give the value return value as a plus b. It is not going to print here, as you can see. After that you can print it wherever you want. So just as here, if you wanted to print here, you can also print it in, such as here you can also return print here like this. If you are going to run, it is going to be print 30. As you can see, it is going to call the return, and wherever this function is called, it is the value of it is going to be written here. Unlike the, you can also call here directly, such as here add 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 or more. How much is going to As you can see, we did not take in the argument here as asterisk, so let us just continue as. So it will going to be print here directly, as you can see. So wherever this function is called, it is going to return the value of whatever it is going to be written here. So that's how the return function works. Return function is very important. You need to remember when a return statement is executed, the function immediately stop execution. After the return statement, the function actually stop whatever you are going to write here, such as if I am going to write print such as print Python as you can see, after return it is not going to print. After return, whatever the code is going to return, it is not going to execute it. So you need to remember that for return statement, that returns a string. So for the string, you can also return any types, such as just like how you print it, you can also return here in string or any other like this. So here is actually like this. So the third example is return the multiple values, such as here. It can also return the multiple values such as sum and def. If sum and def equals to calculation, it is going to be return value as a plus b and a minus b. But you need to remember the positioning. If you change the positioning, as I have already explained how this is written in first lecture, you can also write a variable. You can also add the variable name as define, such as create a variable like this. So just like that, you can also give the value here like this. Return early. If as you can see, it if the return early, if the any kinds of condition, we can also return using conditions, such as like this. If the condition is met, and then it is going to return here, then whatever the code is going to be afterwards, it is not going to execute. The function is going to stop here. So it will only going to execute afterward if this condition is not met, or this return will not work like this. So you need to remember the difference between print and return. The print display output on screen, while return send a value back to the caller where it is called. And print cannot be reused later. Re- Return values can be stored and reused. Print mainly uses for displaying information, while return uses when the function need to produce a result. As you can see, here is multiple returns. such as first one is actually print and second one is actually return value. When to use return when you want to send a result back from a function. Store the result in variable. Store the result in variable. Use the result in another calculation. Reuse the return value somewhere in program. For that, you need to use the return. So our next topic is scope of variables. So let us continue understand what the scope of variable is. The scope of variable determines where a variable can be accessed in program. In Python, a variable may be available only inside a function or through the entire program, depending on where it is created. So a variable, we can actually create a variable inside the function or outside the function, but both the variable are going to be a difference. Usually, whatever the variable which is created inside the function, we cannot use it in outside, since if we are going to add here, as you can see, mm, if we create a function named def add a comma b, it is going to print a comma b, and afterwards if you can actually call the add 10 comma let us just take here add function such as let us give here the example. So we cannot actually use the whatever the variable which is defined inside the function, such as like here if we are going to define whatever the variable as a equals to 10, and if we want to print here print a, then as you can see here it cannot find where the a is, because a is actually defined in inside a function, so you cannot access it outside. Actually you can, but there is another method how to access it. We will see it that. So why the variable scope is important? Variable scope helps control where the variable can be used, prevent accidental changes to variable, and organize code more effectively, avoid naming confusion. So types of variables scope. First one is local scope. A variable created inside a function is called a local variable. It can only be accessed in by x. It can only be accessed inside the function. So local variable is such as a variable. Local variable cannot be accessed outside the function. If I define the function name as inside a function name greet, then I cannot actually print here just like I have shown now. But in global scope, if a variable is created outside the function, outside all function is called a global variable. It can be accessed from anywhere in program. It can be accessed from anywhere in program since it is outside the function. So you can actually access is in inside the function and outside both as well. So, in real life example, imagine a classroom. A student's notebook belongs only to the students. This is like a local variable. So, the student notebook is something which is only can be accessed by student, while the classroom for a single student, for student whose notebook is, and while the classroom blackboard can be accessed by any seen by anyone. Anyone can see the classroom whiteboard, but you cannot actually see any you cannot actually see anyone's notebook without their permission or belonging. So, local variables. So, let us understand what local variable is. A variable that is created inside the function. It can only be accessed when the function and is destroyed when the function finish execution. Note: local variables are not available outside the function in which they are created. As I have already explained, you cannot actually, uh, if you can actually create a variable name as message, and you can actually print it here. In example, we will take here local vari variable v variables dot py. In local variable, as I have already explained, you can we will clear it out so you can see it properly here. So for local variable, as you can see, it can be accessed if it is defined inside. You can access is in inside, but if you want to access outside, such as print message, then as you can see, it is going to give the error since message is not anywhere defined outside the function. So you need to remember that for local variable, a message is created inside the greet function. Second, according to the local variable outside the function, it is going to give the name error since a message is not defined, as you can see here. And for local variable so anytime every time you can use the same name as variable name, since both are not the same or anywhere called. They since if the variable is going to define here, then after that it is going to be destroyed, or any words you want to understand like this, it cannot be used after the function is finished. So you need to remember that. Second one is global variable. Global very variable variables dot py. So for local, first we will understand for local variable created inside function, accessible only within the function, created when function is called, destroyed when the function finish execution. Defines function can be different function can have local variable as same name. It is not going to give any error since both are not going to call each other. Hmm. A global variable. A global variable is a variable that created outside the function. Unlike a local variable, a global variable can be accessed from anywhere in program, including inside the function and outside the function both. The global variable A global variable is available through the program unless is modified or deleted. As you can see here, we have taken a variable. Here we have taken a variable name message as welcome to the Python welcome to the Python. Then it is going to if if we call greet, it is going to print message. So as you can see, it can call any message and it can call this, and even if we want, we can also call it like this, message. So we can use both inside. We can call this both inside and outside the function. So that was the global variable. The message is the second is according to the global variable inside and outside function, accessing as you can see here, just like that, you can actually access both inside and outside function. Inside, first one is inside and second one is outside the function. Third is local variable with same name. If if let me write print, so that here easy to understand. So if we write here like this, and call it, as you can see inside is first we have taken a variable name as Alice and stored in it, but here inside the function, as you can see, we have changed it with Bob. We have changed given new value to the variable name, and since so it is going to print outside, but since the value which was changed inside the function, so it will not going to affect what is outside in it. So for outside here, as you can see, it is going to print only Alice, since it will not going to change out globally. This one was local. uh, this one I will change that local, but it is not going to change globally. Characters of global variable declared outside all function accessible through the program can be read inside function, can have same name and local variable remain in memory until the program finishes. So next one is global keyword. So let us understand what the global keyword is. You can actually create a variable name inside a function and uh, use the global keyword to actually global it so that you can access it outside the function. As you can see here, uh, we have taken the count name as 10, but here we have taken update, and here we have given the value as count 20, count 20, and if we whenever we are going to call it, it is going to convert this into here. So for better understanding, I will take here like this. As you can see, it is going to add 20 whenever this is going to be called. If we are going to take here like this, if we for how many times we are going to call it, it is going to continue plus 20, since it will do the global. It will change the whatever outside is going to be from inside. So that's what the global variable do. The global normally a function can read a global variable, but it cannot modify it directly. If you want to modify a global variable inside the function, you must use global keyword. Global keyword tell Python that the variable refers refers to the global variable, a global variable, not a local variable. So here, so without the global variable, you cannot actually update what is inside is outside. Through inside, you can we will create a variable yellow global keyword dot py for so as you can see, whenever we are going to call this, it is going to change every time here like this. So without global you cannot change whatever what the outside is. For changing what the outside the function is, you need to you need to use the global keyword. When should use global keyword? Use a global keyword only when you need to modify a global variable inside a function. uh, Third one is for our next topic is going to be recursion. So for I will create here recursion recursion.py. So let us understand what is first recursion is. So recursion is basically a function a program a technique which uses the function call itself to solve a problem. Function is calling itself, such as if if you want to call the function repeatedly in itself, so that kind of function is called recursion. I will explain it what is through the example. So first let we talk. The recursion is a program technique in which the function calls itself to solve a problem. A recursion function keep calling itself until the base case is reached. Note, every recursion function must have base case. So without the function, we will with without it, if the function is keep calling itself following and cause a recursion error. So the recursion is just like if I need to simplify the recursion, you can think of it like uh, a while loop, not a while loop, because recursion is basically a function which is actually calling itself, such as here the function, if you define the function, it is going to return the value itself, but until a specific condition met, it is not going to give any value, but it is going to define it. So let us understand first with an example. It is not going to understand from that. So as you can see here, we have created a function name countdown and uh, function name countdown, and whatever if the function it is going to be a function name countdown, and as you can see here it is a base case. If n equals 0, then print done, and if not, then it is going to print n and count n minus 1. So here what will this function do? It will take n, since n is here we have taken the value 5, since 5 is not as you can see, since 5 is not equals to 0, it will skip that part, and it will print n as 5, and here the function is going to call again such as n minus 1. So it will be after that here 5 minus 1 is going to be 4, so it will going to call again, so it will going to print 4 3 2 until the condition is met, and it is going to be valued return. So after return, as you have already known, I have already explained, after return the code actually stops. So whatever code is going to be after return, it will not going to execute. So here it will, the code will stop. So that's how the recursion actually works. Recursion is important topic, so you need to remember. You can such as if you need to count any how much number it is, you can count it like this. So, third is a factorial. If you need to a factorial of n numbers, such as let us create a function named def factor over here. Take the variable parameter n, and let us, if n equals 0, then return 1. If not, then print n, and print n, and it will going to either return we are not going to return it. Let me, or return n into n minus 1. Uh, so let us print factorial of, let's make a take an input from user, such as n equals input int input enter number. So here is the code for finding factorial of any number, such as if I need to find factorial of 5. So how this thing actually works, so it will going to call, if I am going to call the factor such as factorial of n, then it will check the condition if n is equal to 0. If not, then it will return the value as n into factorial of 9 by 9 minus 1 n minus 1. So for factorial, what will be factorial of n minus 1? Since we have taken the value of 5, so it will going to be 5 into n minus 1, 4. So here it will check if 4 is not equals to 0, so it will give the value as 4 equal not equals to 0. So here, as you can see, it will return n minus 1. So here it will going to be 4 into, so first one it is going to be, first it is going to be n in 5 into 4. Afterwards it is going to be n into n minus 1, so it will be going to be 3. After that it will going to be 2. So just like that it will going to be 1. And after 1, if the value of n equals to 1, then it will return the value n into n minus 1. So for n minus 1 is going to be 1 minus 1 is going to be 0. So for 0 it will return the value as 1. So it will also going to multiply again with 1. So as you can see, after calculating it in this, so it will going to give the value as 120. So that's how it will going to work for recursion. So recursion, so that's how the factorial is work. You can also understand here the factorial multiply each number by factorial of previous number until it reaches the n equals to 1. Here they have taken the value as n equals to 1. You can also take either 1 or 0. It will not matter. Here it is used as like this. Advantage of recursion. Uh, it makes some problem is easier to solve. Pro Produce short and clean code for recursive problem, useful for tree and graphs algorithm, commonly used in search and backtrack algorithm. So these are the advantages of recursion. While for disadvantages, there are also some disadvantages of recursion. Recursion can be slower than loops. While how can the recursion will be slow? So let us first understand. So how the function is actually working here. First, if we are going to call the function here as factorial of 5, so it will going to call function here. So after that it will going to run the code, and here it will going to call function again. So unlike so here it will going to run the code multiple. It will going to find the function where it is defined, and after defining it, it will going to check the variable. So how a function is actually called? When a function is called, then first it is going to find where the function it is, then it is going to check what the data types are actually, what given in the function is correct or not. After that it is going to call here. So this process, after that, it is going, if the function is called again, it will check again where the function it is, and it is going to check its data type. So it will actually going to call here like this through n number of time. So, unlike the loops, it will for functions, for recursion functions is actually slower, slower than loops because of its steps, multiple steps, and it uses more memory and power than CPU memory than normal recursion. So normal loops. So recursion is not very commonly recommended. If you can do it in loops or easily, for such as by using less memory method, then you can use that method instead of recursion. But recursion is also very important, so you need to know the how to do that. Disadvantages of recursion: it uses more memory because each function call is stored, and missing a base case called a recursion error. If you are knowing not going to give any recursion a base case, such as if I am going to here this any, then if I am going to put such as here like 5, it will going to give an error, since it will going to keep, as you can see, it will going to keep continue until thousands of time, and it is going to give an error, recursion error, since, and maximum recursion depth executed, as you can see here, it is already in previous line repeated more than 996 more times than like this. So you need to add recursion base value. You need to remember to add base value. If you are not going to add base case, then it will going to give the error. Key points you need to remember: recursion is when function calls itself. Each recursive function must have key, base case, and other. Third type is a lambda function. So it is already we will so here, so before that it was recursion function, and this is the lambda function. I will both of them I will explain now. Here in short, we will cover this both of them in detail of in detailed lecture of of this. Uh, so something more for actually needed to explain in recursion. I will explain it afterwards in detail lectures. Before that lecture, we are going to understand what the list and strings are in detail. After that, we are going to do that. So for now, we are going to understand the lambda function. So we are going to the introduction of lambda function. So first, let us understand what is lambda function is. A lambda function is a small anonymous function created using the lambda keyword. Unlike a normal function, lambda function does not require a name and is usually written in single line. Unlike so lambda, you can look lambda function is look like a you can also see it like a one-line function. It is actually a lambda function is written in single line, and it does not require a name or anything. You do not need to define its parameter or any other things. So that's the lambda function is used for short and simple operation. A lambda function can have any number of parameters, but it can contain only one expressions. Hmm. So, so first let us understand what is syntax is. For syntax, first is going to be lambda. So lambda is going to be keyword used to create a lambda function. Second is going to be parameter. Parameters input values for function. uh, Input value of function which is given to the function, values which is given to the function. Expression, a single expression would result in automatically return. You do not need to call write return or anything. It will going to be automatically return whatever it is going to be here. Such as here you can see, let me create lam, lambda dot py. If I'm going to create a function name as here, as you can see, I have given a function name as square, and for square I have given a function variable lambda. First I have written the lambda. After that, for parameter I have written the x, and for return value I did not write the return. I have just given after colon, it is whatever it is going to be expression is going to return. So as you can see, for square it is going to return here like this. So it is going to print, as you can see, print square equals to 5. It is going to print 5 into 5. It is going to print uh, 5 into 5. Square of 5 is going to be 25. And just like that, you can create, as you can see, we can also create it as multiple other values, such as square of 3 for 345 or any other values. So that's how the lambda function works. Uh, for explanation, x is a parameter or x into x is an expression, and calling square bracket square 5 returns the value of 25. We can also create a parameter using multiple. We can also create a lambda function as multiple parameters, such as like this. Whatever is going to be parameter, after that it is going to be as expression, it is going to return the value. You need to remember while giving while writing this parameter, you need to give the argument here values in order, so that it does not going to affect if you are going to give the value in if you are not going to give the value in here like this, it will going to exchange, so that the calculation, it might be it give the different value from what you want as calculation error. So it will not going to give error, but it will going to give another value which was not expected. So lambda function versus normal function. So for normal function, you need to define multiplier name here like this. After that, you need to return it, and for calling, you can do for calling the both the function have same. For lambda function, you can actually do it in single line. So for simple function such as short function as lambda or any other function, you can actually you it will be easy to use lambda type than the normal function, since normal function actually uh, is lengthier than so both the function produce the same result. The lambda version is shorter and commonly used for simply operations. When should you use lambda function? Use lambda function when the function is small and simple. The function is needed only once. You want to uh, you can also shift or you can also call the just like normal function. You can also call this is multiple time. So the function is needed only once, or you want to write short and readable code. For large or more complex tasks, use the normal function instead of lambda and define it with the def keyword. For normal function, it is created using the def keyword, and for lambda function, it is created using the lambda keyword. Normal function has the function name, while the lambda function uses the anonymous no name. It is given to the any variable, not the function. It has no function name. and can contain multiple statements. Normal function can contain multiple statements, while the lambda function can only contain one expression, such as addition, multiplication, or any kinds of expression you can take. Uh, it will only going to contain only one expression. Uh, Suitable for large program, suitable for short, simple tasks. While here, for the common errors which usually all makes to forgot in function, usually the common errors which you actually get is forgetting to call the function, incorrect indentation inside function, passing the wrong argument, wrong number of argument, forgetting the use of return statement, access a local variable outside the function, modifying the variable without using global, modifying a global variable without using a global, missing the base case in recursion, confusing print with returns. This actually this are the common mistakes which you need to practice. For the better practice, use the meaningful function name. Do not give a function name as A, B, C. It is not usually given, it is not usually practical. So you need to give the function as proper name, such as and keep the function short and focus on one task. You do not need to create a function for a single function with a multiple tasks, and uses the function inside of global variable whenever possible. Return values inside of printing inside function, returning value instead of printing a inside function when appropriate, and follow proper indentation, add comments or doc strings for complex function, reuse function instead of writing duplicate code, use lambda function only for simple and one line operators. So let us go with some practice problems. So our first question is going to be question 1.py. So let us see our first question. So our first question is, write a function to print hello world. So we will going to create a function named def greet, and after that it will going to create print hello world. Hello world. Mm, hmm. After that you can call this function such as greet and it is going to greet that. Second is going to be write a function takes takes number as argument and print is its square. Uh, print quotient 2 dot py. So first we will make def uh, for function name is square equal square bracket semicolon. Let us take any number as n, and after that we need to print or write a function write a function that takes number as argument and print its square. So it is going to print uh, n into n. After that, if we are going to call the function as square or any number as n equal int input enter number square, and if we are going to run this, and whatever such as 4 it is going to print it square, we will sq square square of n is we have forgot a comma, so it will going to be square of 5 is a square of 5 is going to be 25. We can print it like this. We can also print using lambda, such as like a square is equal to lambda n equals to n into, which is here we will write print n. We will print right here this expression. So whenever we are going to call here, we will call here square 2, and for this one we will name as square 1, so it will be easy to actually. So as we will here call square 2. For name we will take 5, as you can see. For this one, we have actually forgot your name, taking the name as n. We will take value of 5. As you can see, it will going to print it from both of this method. I will write here as method 2, and here method method 1 first. So you can use any kinds of method either. So our third question is, write a function that takes two number and returns their sum. We will create the question for py. After that, we will create we will write this question. For that, just we will write method 1. We will write def sum 1 a comma b. It will going to return a plus b, and here we will create another function named sum2 as lambda a comma b a plus b. It will going to be return the value. After that, print sum1 such as 5 comma 9, and for sum2 we will give the value as 6 comma 2. As you can see, it will going to print it here like this. So let us go with our third question. Fourth question dot py. So for our fourth question, we will write take the question name, write a function that accept a student name and age, then display them. So let us go with question here. Write a function that accepts student name and space. So let us create def. We will give the name function name as info. Here we will give the parameter name comma age, and then display write the function to accept a student name and age. Then we are going to print name, comma, name. Here we will take print age, comma, age. We will add info, take except student's name. We will give the function name as student hyphen info student info. As for name, we will give the name as Sam, and for age 13. As you can see, it will going to name Sam and age 13. It will going to print it like this, and after that, for our fifth question, question 5.py, write a function that check whether a name number is even or odd. Let us create a function named def c check even odd, take parameter as n, if n mod 2 equals 0, then even, then print even, else print odd. We will check any number as 456 is actually even, or check for 275 as odd, as you can see. So for our sixth question, we will take it like write a function that accepts the three number and returns the largest number. So for that we will write question 6.py. For that we are going to create def largest a comma, we are going to take three parameters a, b, c. After that, if a is greater than b and a is greater than c, then return a. After that, if a b is greater than a and b is greater than c, return b greater than equal to, we are going to write equal to also, else c, return c. So here is a function. If we are going to call it such as print largest largest of, so we are going to take L, such as L equals to largest for A we are going to take 6, for B 3, and for C 18. After running it, as you can see, for C it is going to print 18. So that's how you can find. There's also another method, more methods, so you can actually try. So our next question is our next question is write a function that calculate the factorial of number using recursion. So we are going to create q.7.py, and here we are going to write the question and write a function that calculate the factorial of number using recursion. So we are going to create a function as def factorial. So it will take the parameter as n, and if n equal and if n n equals n is greater than equal to 1, and after that if n is n equal to 1 is return 1, and else return factorial of n minus 1 n n into factorial of n minus 1, and here we are going to write else. So print else print write positive number only, and here we are going to return so here if we are going to print factorial of no, not like this. We are going to here give the value return return, and here we will remove this factorial of 8. If we need to find the factorial of 8, as you can see, it is going to print factorial of 8 as 4082. We are going to first write factorial of 5 as it is going to print 120. So factorial of 5 is actually 120, so it is going to print that. And I have as if I am going to write the -5, then as you can see it is going to print right positive number only. So I have written this in else part, so that since the factorial is only can be for positive number, so I have written this condition also, so that it is going to be only going to take positive number. So for our next question, question 4, question 8 dot py. Write a function that accepts any number of integers using args and return their sum. So we are going to create a function as def sum number, and here we are going to take star n. So for that we are going to give the write a function that accepts and return sum. We are going to use the sum built-in function and of n. After that we are going to print some number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it is going to print the value. As you can see, the sum of all is 28. So you can also use here like instead of using like this, you can also use another function def another method def sum number number 2. Here we will take star n for I in n, and we are also going to take here as sum and sum equals to 1 0, and as you can see we are going to print sum equals plus equal to I. After that return sum, and here we are going to write print. We will just going to copy this sum. Here we are going to take the value to and we will take here 5. After that, as you can see, it is going to print 38, 28 and 15, and just like this. After that there are also one. Let us go with our ninth question dot py. So our ninth question is write a function that accepts students' detail using key value and display each key value pair. Any number of. So first we are going to write the question and create a function def accept any number of key value and it is not the question. Return write the function that um, write a function that accepts student detail using keyword argument and display each key value. So we are going to write as student detail as since we don't know how many arguments is going to be in it, so we will write double slash kw here argue double slash d since for detail, and after that it is going to for for key value. So first is going to be key for key comma value in student. We will write here full name as so that it is easy to understand. Detail. So as student detail in detail print key comma value, and here we are going to call it student detail. We are going to give the details of students such as name, item, items. After that, if we are going to run, as you can see, it is going to print the name equals to Alice, grade, and age. So that is how it is run. And for our last question, write a function that returns both the quadrant and remainder of two numbers. So first we are going to create here q10.py, and here we will clear write a function that returns both quadrant and remainder. So we are going to create a function named as quadrant remainder and going to print it if a is if b is not if b is equals 0, then print b can cannot be 0 since we cannot divide any number by 0, so we are going to print it. If the b is going to be 0, we cannot divide it, as print quad quotient and quotient of a quotient of a comma a by a and a by b is quotient of a by b is a factorial floor division by b, and after that we are going to print re, remainder of a by b is a mod b, print we are going to call it as quotient remainder 5, 8. So it is going to give the value as 0, 5 since, and we can also take another value such as 34 divided by 34, 3. So it is going to give the value as 1 and 11 and 1. We will also going to check the for zero part. If for zero b cannot be zero, so that was it. So these are some practice problem for you guys. I hope you will do it. And this is some shit you need to remember of this lecture. And with that, we have finished this lecture. And for next lecture, in next lecture we are going to understand what is a list in detail. So you see you. So thank. I hope you will like this video and subscribe the channel. So see you in next lecture. Thank you.